All right. Hi. Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this session. Of course, for those who know me, then you know that I have my own consulting company called Autumn, and I'm also the COO of Pillar and Pillar Health, and also Jasper Lodge. Okay, and I'm a mixed bag. Okay, so I get involved in a lot of things. I also involved in charity work as well for those who NGOs who want to start homes. I also help them to do that as well. So there are many things now. Over today's topic, we'll talk about something called growing your aged care business with COVID present. And this is, I think it's very important because over the last 1.5 years, 1 year plus already, okay, almost 2.5 years of COVID, we have seen there are a lot of challenges faced by the aged care businesses. So we cannot stop moving forward, and we have to think of a way to continue our business. Most of us have seen some drop in the business. Okay, we have people who drop by at least 10%, 20%, 30% of business as well. Now, the other thing is not because there's no business out there, we dare not take people in as well, because we're thinking if they bring in after they die, how, or kena COVID, how. And there are a lot of challenges that we are facing today. So today I'm going to get straight in. Okay, get straight in. We talk about simple things. I don't go to do deep, but important things. We talk about, we can only move forward and the operational changes needed before moving forward. And then we talk about merging what we knew and what is new. So this is more of a discussion, and we share our stories. And I realized that over the last 1.5 years, none of us by ourselves can solve all the problems, because we all in a different context, different needs, whether we are NGO, whether we are business, whether we are new to the business, we have different problems. Okay, and some of us are blessed, like us, like me with Jasper. I have a big team of people to handle the problems. I have matrons, doctors, and most of my staff are nurses. Okay, so I'm pretty blessed in that sense. But we also struggled. Okay, we struggled. We panicked. When the first round happened, we panicked. And it doesn't. And I'm thinking, what about those with less people in the team? So you will be struggling as well. So I have, in fact, over the last 5 weeks, there are about at least 7 homes contacted me, and we are working together, working closely to solve the problems day by day. Okay, of course, some of them are in the group. We chat about it, and we share and appreciate that HCOP as a team in Kuala Lumpur or the nationwide Kedah and everywhere else, Penang, Ipoh, we all work together in Malacca. We work together to solve the problems together, because not a single one of us have all the answers. Okay, so I will go straight on to the whole thing, and I want to spend more time discussing, and maybe take one or two of you as a case where we can help to understand, do it as a case study. Okay, the only way we can move forward is to know what had happened and study and see how we can move forward, and based on some of the things I recommend. So I'm going to move on to the first part. Is we can only move forward. Okay, when we move forward, there are 2 questions very important. First, can I sustain without growth? Answer is very simple. No. In fact, there are a couple of centers actually talked to me. We were talking, and they said, "Oh, you're so tired. Now I've been wearing PPE every day for the last every cycle. Or after 14 days, there's another batch. Oh, another 14 days. It's like a sauna suite. For me. So everybody is going through a tough time. I'm so tired. I want to give up. Hey, Manto, you want to take over or not? I said, I said I was about to ask you the same question. So, so we are tired because it's going on a cycle and cycle. Okay, but sometimes we just, as friends of industries, we share, and we do not be afraid to say that we have problems. We are all vulnerable. Just because I didn't say much about what's happening, that doesn't mean we don't have problems. We struggle like crazy as well, but we move forward, and just that we have a better team to sustain each other and hold our hands together. So not so scared. So the number 2 is, how long will this pandemic last? Okay. Now when you ask this question, okay, you look back at the history. Pandemics usually last a long time. One of the longest in the 20th century was the Spanish flu. Not what our minister says a Spanish fly. No, that one, the Spanish flu lasted almost 5 years, okay, 4 to 5 years. And it started actually originally in Japan. Just for you to tell you some story. It started in Japan, and those days most of the media were controlled. But so by the time this thing was spread around, the flu spread, they went to Spain, and Spain they have a open media, so they reported of such a flu. So that's why it's called a Spanish flu, although it started in Japan and lasted 5 years. So then we have also the Asian flu, in the 50s, and then of course we have SARS, MERS. We have so many other types of things happening to us over the last few years. You just look at this, okay. This list actually is pretty long. This picture, okay. Can you all see it? If you can, just give me a reaction on the chat so that I know that you all can see what what's happening. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yes, can see.
Can, all right. Good. So you see, this is just half of the one. If you go back further, 2,000 years, okay, they have a track record of pandemic, bubonic plague, all kind of plagues over 2,000 years. Okay, so we have the Asian flu in the 50s, also killed a lot of people. There, 1 million people in Hong Kong flu, okay, 68, 70, the Hong Kong flu. Then SARS, okay, 2003, 770 people died. MERS, Ebola, the swine flu, the COVID, okay, COVID 3.9 million and still ongoing. You go back further, the lists are actually longer. But and then, of course, 200 million people died. Black Death, bubonic plague, okay, 1347, 1351. That means it killed a lot of people. So this thing is plague is this kind of virus is going to be ongoing, and it's mutating now to Delta. So maybe next time we go to Beta, Gamma, Alpha, Theta, whatever, Omega, Pi, the Greek alphabet are such a long list, so you don't know. So there's 24 alphabets there. So it's going to be ongoing. And there will always be new virus, okay, or any other, okay, sorry, and any other new threats, okay, old and new threats, okay. Now we have human resource problem. There's a threat, okay. We used to have legal workers. Now we don't have legal workers. In 2009, they put away. Now, if most of the centers will have some, at least, well, it's confirmed, 27% of the workers in care centers are foreign workers, which means illegal lah. Okay, it doesn't matter what permit they have. It's not a care center permit. So then we have the legality issues. Okay, getting permits, getting what you call is it running as a home? You have what license you have, licensing, the guidelines with the council. We have authorities intervention. Okay, we have the illegality I want to talk about is like being sued. Okay, medical, legal. Okay, and people may want to sue you all and do things because of the pandemic. And I must share with you this story. Recently, we have someone who was tested PCR negative, came to our center about this happened about 3 months back lah. And then 2 days later, this person developed show positive, and by then another person was all the residents was infected. 2 of them died. One of them who was there, who died infected by this person, wanted to sue us. You see, they're very unhappy. Why you bring someone in like this? But we said we follow the rules and regulations. We follow SOP. We tested. This one is guaranteed perfect. We choose the orange already, guaranteed. But when you open the orange, there are some worms inside. So how do we know? No, because you can't see what's inside. So of course, a pandemic, nobody can really sue. Okay, but when you talk about law, the Chinese have a saying, the 君子兩個口, when it comes to the law, there's always 2 mouths. So there's always argumentative. So we have to be careful. So these are threats for us as well. Economic crisis, we still have, now with all these things going, we have no money. Natural disaster. I mean, we are blessed. We don't have much natural disaster, but we still have floods. So even without the virus, there are always some other threats hitting us in aged care. Okay. I mean, now the last 2 years, they implemented must have host rail for double stories live-in centers. So if you don't have, you don't get a license. That is what we are facing now also ourselves. We used to have license. Now they said, now I think you need to have a host rail and spend 40K on it. So that is one problem. It's going to be ongoing. The next thing will be, one by one, I can see that in the Klang Valley, they will charge a renewal fee every 2 years or every 1 year or every 3 years by the council. In Shah Alam, they charge, I think it's about 15,000 every time you renew per license. Ampang, I think they're starting to charge already. I don't know the amount yet. I just need to find out. I was told by someone they're charging. So there are a lot of challenges coming along. New one. So actually doing our business in Hokkien, I said chuan. No, this one really tiring. But the thing is this, we help a lot of people. So the answer to the whole thing, should we go on or not? Should we have growth? The answer is this. We can only move forward. Or you sell off the business. Okay. But you sell off the business, and what else can you do now? What else can you do? A lot of people whom we have cared for, we cannot let go. So that is our challenge now. So now we can only move forward. So to move forward, we have one big issue to deal with first. One of the things we have to talk about is operational changes needed before moving forward. We need to change a lot of things. Okay. But before we talk about changes, we need to deal with one key ethical dilemma facing each of us in aged care. I'm facing as well. Okay. The reason I put it in is because I'm facing it. The ethical dilemma I'm facing is this. Okay. The situation, what is the ethical dilemma is a situation in which one finds it difficult to handle and often calls for an apparent mental conflict between moral laws, whereby choosing to abide by one would lead to the transgression of the other. Okay. So there are two, for example, we are in a business. Okay, if you're charity, okay, if you're charity home, the moral law will be I'm helping people for free. Okay, helping people for free. In business, we also have to look after the business, okay, and be a good steward of the business, and yet we must also take care of the people who are under our care, whether it's mentally, physically, and financially. So we just don't want to burden them as well. So we have this conflict. Okay, that is our problem now. And the conflict is this: the dilemma between empathy and business. Just I'm going to open this for a bit of a talk first with you all. How many of you struggle with this? Anyone wants to share? Yeah, I'll just on the mic, off the mic, on the mic and on the video, and we just have a chat and tell us how you feel.
I think I'll probably help start off with this. I think in this sector, aged care, empathy and business is definitely one of the biggest dilemmas, because on the one hand, you're in the field of care, sharing, caregiving, but on the other hand, you need to earn a living. So very often, people will tend to, maybe intentionally or unintentionally, try to abuse your empathy in many ways for their own benefit, and this is just human nature lah. It could be due to okay, they say since you're in this business, you're taking 3,000 ringgit from me every month. Just buying for me free Panadol wouldn't be a problem one ma. But not everyone will look at it the same way, where 3,000 a month, the margins is extremely thin. It's not like we are taking 2,500 and only our cost is 500. So sometimes they might abuse this. From a medical perspective, there's also like I think recently for COVID, the ethical dilemma is that, okay, when you send these people to the hospital and then you might sometimes feel that this is, oh, they got COVID in your center, and should you charge when they are in the hospital, or they even might ask for a discount, but you have a business to run and you're not receiving money from the government, so you need to survive in your business lah. So this is where the ethical dilemma comes about between empathy and business lah.
So just let's be more personal on your side. So have you sent people to hospital before on COVID side, on your side, Dr. Goh?
So far, thankfully, none. Yeah.
None yet lah. Okay lah. Okay. I hope you stay that way lah. Okay. Thanks for the sharing. Anyone else? Yeah, just a couple more. Yeah. Who has sent someone to hospital because of COVID and they're not feel bad collecting money? Come on, this is your session, okay? When I run this kind of session, it's more for us in each care to share. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm Michelle here.
Hi,
So,
Michelle. Hey.
firstly, of course, we're also one of them now. And so actually, we did charge, but of course, those who have passed away, I only get back one customer payment. Other than that, they will just fly away. So didn't even petty cash, they are not paying. Even only left half month of the deposit because my company practice is only we collect half month deposit. So I meant for the following month, they are not going to pay. And then some of them, of course, not all of them died. And then partially, some of them already been hospitalized for more than 2 weeks. So of course, they will ask for a discount. And of course, by goodwill, we also give them a discount. So because we want to look forward, we don't want that because of due to this pandemic, and then we kind of like so harsh because no one wants it to be happen. And then of course the family members is asking why your center been detected, been detected this COVID since my parents already a year been locked down and not even like people said why suddenly become like that? Because I said a care center is a place where in-out hospital is a common thing. Because I got it because of one of my customer went to a hospital and then the result is negative and then come back to our center and then later on develop symptoms. So this is how we got detected. Almost half of my care center was detected and then quite bad. I also about 8 of them passed away. So one of them want to sue me. One of them make it into big news, and then almost I'm very popular during that time. So, but anyhow, I just passed through it, and then things must like Muncho said it, life must go on. You have to look forward. Then only later on we think about others. How are we going to move on? That is the fantastic part. So at this moment, I'm quite doing well. And then due to previous this experience, that's how we grow. I believe this is how we grow. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, just want to let you know, Michelle is she's she's from Wan Hing. We call it the queen and king of Sri Kembangan, and nobody can touch Sri Kembangan. Okay, please leave it alone. It belongs to Michelle.
Thanks for the compliment.
But you're been doing a good job. I heard a lot of good things about you. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else want to share? Yeah. I think I can see Adam here, isn't it? Adam. Well, if nobody wants to share, okay, let's move on then. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I would like to share my experience can be different from your side.
Okay, Sabah, come.
From Sabah, yeah. One of my staff, the admin staff, did not come on 24th July. Then 6 days later, she went for a test and tested COVID-19 positive. So 9 days later, KKM people come to my place and did a swab test for 35 of us, that means including my staff and my resident. Then 9 days after the incident. Okay. So we waited for 2.5 days, all the results come out. Very lucky we are negative. 35 was negative. So we try to figure out why we have such a good result, excellent result. Because our center, all the residents and staff received the completed 2 doses of vaccine on 18 June. So when this incident comes, it already more than 5 weeks. Number 2, the staff, when she is not feeling well, we don't know because admin staff never contact us. She has been wearing mask. Okay. So she was just discharged from the quarantine center. And this morning she decided to resign because she feel very, I think, feel guilty or tired. I don't know what happened. It will be the problem that we'll be facing those people who recover the COVID, post-COVID, long COVID. Later, you have a chance, you will talk about it. Or maybe I want to switch my care to this group of people. And today in my last night, I myself locked out, staying in the center because the KKM people asked me to stay back if any elderly people have symptoms. All right, today my last night will be here. I locked out for 9 nights. Okay, I learned. I'm very lucky. None of my staff and my resident got COVID-19. All right, thank God for that. But it's a good experience with me. My problem is now, I told my management, I have no confidence this COVID-19 come back to my center. Every time there's somebody infected with COVID, I will lock down for 10 days. Because I quite a number of my income come from daycare. I'm very telling I still receive daycare. Sometimes can be, before the COVID-19, my daycare is full. I take in 40 clients full. After 18th of March implementation, from 40 dropped to 0. I eventually bring it up to 20. Every time there's a change of MCO, my number will drop. I never go further than 20. But when the lockdown, the daycare, I have to close the daycare. So I told management, if I have 2 or 3 rounds of this type of lockdown, then I'm going to close my daycare. But when I want to close my daycare, I believe those daycare clients will be crying for help. Because only lockdown for 9 days, they have been calling me when I'm going to open my daycare. They want to put the father, mother, send the father, mother to my place. So they will be the dilemma in future that I'm going to face. All right. Thanks. You for me to share.
Okay, thanks, Ian. Okay, good. All right. So that's the main dilemma. Okay, empathy and business. So there are a few things that we need to talk about. Okay. Now, there are 5 operational changes which will affect us actually majorly as of course there are more. Okay, but I just want to look at these 5, and it's enough headache for us in the aged care. Number 1, okay, cost and fee. Now we know immediately the cost of running the thing has gone up. Okay, so the terms and conditions and legality for clients, hiring and quarantine of staff, SOP and work processes, redesigning our centers. Let's look at cost and fee. Who should pay? That is the question now. Okay, now that is where the empathy the thing is. Hey, now my question to you all, do you think just because the COVID happens in your center is your fault? And you can just give me a reaction there, in the chat, either thumbs up, yeah, whatever, just give me a reaction. Do you think it is your fault? Ken has a confused reaction. Okay, no, okay, not your fault. Yeah, so it's not our fault. Okay, correct. Yeah, no. Hi, Darren. Hi, yeah. So it's not our fault. So how? Yes and no. Okay. 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 Right. Typical smart Malaysian answer, like yes, I know. I think if the administrator has done all the necessary prevention, it should not be the fault of the administrator. Yes, I think the answer is correct in the sense that no, I know the age code members, we have all been following all the SOPs. I mean, Darren has been, our president has been setting out SOP after SOP. So we know before they come in, we already do the PCR. PCR say confirm none. Then we come in, most of us now isolate them for 10-14 days. 14 days, okay? Gung ho, 10 days. If not 14 days before we release them to the community. So we have done our part already. So we should have no regrets doing what we are doing. Because the virus don't follow SOP, okay? That's the rule number 1. Okay, just like our politicians, the virus do not follow our SOP, only we follow SOP. Okay, Just now Michelle says a fly cannot come in, but a fly is very big. You know, this one we cannot even see. So how? We all can do as much as you can. Okay, so my nephew who was living in a house alone and did have no contact with nobody, he has he contacted, he became positive just 2 weeks ago, and now he's staying in the stadium for, until I think tomorrow, in the this what call what center is that, this COVID center, until tomorrow. So he was living alone, but the thing, he's one problem: share toilet. Okay, share toilet is quite dangerous, you know. Okay, so PPE, you know, it costs a lot. Okay, the gown is about 10 ringgit plus. Okay, the mask for the face mask, and then shield, and then gloves. Okay, and then the PCR and RTK is about 250 to 100 ringgit here. Okay, then sanitizing, okay, disinfecting, you know, it costs you another 700 to 8, depending on the size, about 1,000 ringgit and all those things. So the cost of running this business, okay, this PPE, RTK, and all this sanitizing, do you think we should absorb the cost? Do you think, okay, I'm going to ask this question. Do you think we should charge the client or not? What do you think? Give me your reaction. Hey, new. Okay. Oh yeah, typo. Okay. Let me see. Charge. I do charge to the PCR. What a brave man. Okay, hard question. Yeah, difficult. Yeah, I know it's difficult because it is. Okay, what is the difficulty when you say the charge? Okay, when we discover one person with COVID positive, we test everybody. Okay, we charge a client. The client said, "Hey, not my fault, but I didn't ask you to do a test." So how? Yeah, at cost price, even at cost price, you still charge lah. Yes, we charge. Okay. So okay, those who charge, those who charge, okay, didn't charge. How to charge staff using? Okay, how to charge staff using? Okay, I was lucky. I get KKM to swap for me. Yes, but let's stay ongoing and the business as you go along. Okay, I just want to ask those who charge, how do you tell people how to charge? Now, this is where we learn from each other. Okay, I mean, in Jasper, we also find a big dilemma. Okay, although our fee is not expensive, and it's not low also. So when we want to charge also, and then it's our decision. We also thinking, oh, shall we charge? Okay, so those who charge, can you share what are the reactions? How do you tell them? Maybe you share with us some magic formula. Kai Ming, Mr. Lu Kai Ming, can you share? Okay, you just okay, they want to share. Okay, never mind. So Michelle, you said partial, something difficult, yeah, hard question. Okay, I think if my view is this, as just looking at this, the average increase in cost is approximately almost 300. Okay, on PPE alone, and PPE alone, another 200 ringgit to 300 ringgit per person per month, if we follow the SOP strictly. That's number one. Now PCR and RTK, it is our decision. How do we charge? Okay, let's say we charge at cost. Can. It's sanitizing. We sanitize the whole place. The cost is about, now is they're charging 40 cents per square feet. Of course, we can call Bombay and all those things. What if we don't get free? Okay, Bombay don't want to do anymore because everybody say I can get free. They don't want to do anymore. You go do it yourself. Okay, so it costs you money. So the idea is, this is one of the operational issue we have to deal with. PCR, RTK, sanitizing now. The cost and fee. Okay. There's some more answer there. Okay. You see. Who's that on the line? Okay, Rosh. Pelanggan kita masih anggap tanggungjawab kita pastikan orang tua mereka dijaga betul. Okay, saya faham. Okay. Jadi kita mesti keluarkan surat. Okay, keluarkan surat bagi tahu mereka kita akan charge. Sebab kita walaupun adalah tanggungjawab ialah buat apa yang betul, bukan bayar semua yang kita tak mampu. Okay. I absorb cost is part of my service. Okay. So this part I leave it to you all. There's a mix. Some of you think you can absorb the cost fine, you know. Emma, she share the cost. Michelle share the cost. Okay. On our side, we try to charge at cost. Okay. And we know the cost. Okay. You all can get it from Dr. Lim, those in KL. You know, it's roughly, if you have nurses to do it, it costs only about 160, 170 ringgit for PCR. RTK, you can buy it from the pharmacy. It's pretty cheap. So those are cheap one of RTK, you know, for I think 25, 30 ringgit, you can get a set already. So there is something for you to chew about. Okay. Terms and conditions. Okay. Okay. Lead full to, okay. Who is lead full? Okay. Lead full, like full. What do you mean by terms and conditions? Can you explain? Terms and conditions. Or you mean that this is in your terms
hello,
and conditions? Yes.
My name is Frank.
Oh, Frank. Why you got lead full? Put your name Frank lah.
My name is Frank, or Litfu. Basically,
Oh, lead full is your Chinese name. Okay.
Yeah, it boils down to the terms and conditions that we have for our clients. So, but I think most of us do not have such terms and conditions. So we learn from the experience of maybe the new intakes of the client. We have to include that, whereby we have to ask them to pay for it.
Yeah, I think most of our terms and conditions did not include PCR, but we have most of us have the general terms that anything that is not, you know, that is usable, reusable, or what you call disposable is you charge the client, you see. But this one is a new thing, you know. So this is people try to play with it, and we used to call KKM to come and do the test, but they don't come anymore. Now you depend on KKM, die lah. KKM used to be called, used to be known as Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia. Now KKM, you call them, it's called Kau Mati lah. Okay, you can't depend on them because they're really struggling. I mean, look at the numbers. I pity those people working in the hospital. Yeah, betul Kau Mati. You call them, ambulance also don't want to respond. 999, 999, it's like call it better than call lah. Nobody will come and you call 999. They said, oh, we don't come. You call private hospital ambulance. They said you must wait. These are things happening now. Okay, so cost and fees. Yeah, private ambulances. All those are in part of it. So I want you all to think about it, and some of you can absorb it. Yeah, that's wonderful. If not, you know, you may share it out, or you can find it as cheap as possible. Okay. Next thing. I'll talk about terms and conditions now. Legality for clients. Admission terms. I think this is one of the things you have to add in. Okay, let's say we do not get with a pandemic, you know, like insurance. In the event of war, riots, or natural disaster, you know, or a pandemic, they don't cover the insurance, you know, because it is under, you know, out of control. Insurance want to pay only things they can control. So these are things, admission form, you want to probably put it in that for COVID, that, you know, all these terms and tests, you will put it in, Frank, so to answer your question. The PCR test cost, yeah, test and cost, yeah, you can still put it in. I would suggest that you all put, I probably redo my terms and conditions and pass it to you all, and you all decide whether you want to implement or not. You see, I would rather have a terms and conditions where you tell them we charge. But in the end, you don't charge, or you charge half. I leave it to your business sense, because you are in different time, place, different area, the way they behave differently. One like small town and KL and Sabah or in Kedah, clients behave differently. Okay, so you may have to make business decision, but I would encourage you to put it in. Okay. Okay. So this one now, client must be vaccinated. Okay. So this one you may want to put it in. Clients coming must be vaccinated. This one one gentleman Okay, one person asked me this question. What about those who come in, you want to be vaccinated? How? Okay, so yeah, you may want the client to be vaccinated before they come in also. You can put it in the terms and conditions first, then we figure it out. I just want to let you know, the government is announcing that they will allow, there will be private clinics that can charge, I think 360, 380 to do vaccination, 2 doses. Okay. Of course, don't ask me who makes the most money. You all know the answer already. Okay, that one is so that is where is that, but it's there lah. Okay, you may want to do it. Okay. Quarantine. Okay. So you want to talk about, that the people comes in, SOP, they must do the PCR test, they must be quarantined for how long first? Then, okay, this part, hospitalization decision. Over the last few months, a lot of people in the centers or members ask this question, and they have this dilemma. The family don't want us to send them to hospital, okay, for fear that they will die in the hospital, okay, which is true lah, it is a fact that they won't give you ventilator if you know they cannot save you and all those things. It's a fact that we understand. Then they do, but in our place, okay, one of the things that we cannot let people with COVID die in our place, because okay, when people with the virus die, they are during the time of death, they are the most infectious. There's most virus released into the air. So we do not have enough equipment and PPEs or things to manage people with COVID dying in our center, and it could spread even worse. So we have to move people out. So the dilemma today was someone call up, ask me this question. Hey, although in our terms and conditions it says that decision to move to the hospital belongs to the center, but they complain, he said, if you move my father to the hospital, I will sue you all, So she asked me what should be the answer. The answer is very simple. Okay, your terms and conditions says that in the event of emergencies, they will be sent to the hospital and it will be the home's decision. But if the family refuse, you just tell them, then we will have to send me back to your house. Which would you like? Just tell them straight down. I want them to stay in the center. Sorry, we won't, because I have 20 other people in the center. In that place, you have 30 other people. If this person died, could kill the other 30 as well. Kau. So it will really KKM, kau mati, So you cannot have that, So in the end, they say no choice. They sent to the hospital, but that was the last stage already. Maybe those are really serious. The nurse will say cannot already. The SP also be tahan already, going down below 90, 80 kind of thing. So responsibility of the center during pandemic is really to follow the SOP given. That is okay. We are not responsible for the pandemic, because if the government cannot solve the problem, if the government of the world are suffering and don't have an answer, who are we? But our responsibility is to follow the SOP. That's very important. We follow the SOP, we do the best we can. If the best is not enough, then the person must be time to go. What to do? Tiring, but you must know where we are going. I think that the terms and conditions needs a revisit already. That's definitely before we talk moving forward. Then hiring and quarantine of staff. Now, staff comes in, okay, they must be PCR test. Whose cost? Staff cost or our cost? Okay, of course, for us it's our cost lah. Okay, before you join. Then staff go on leave, come back. Do you want them to do a RTK test or not? Or PCR test? Whose cost? Our cost lah, okay, or is it their cost? Now, then the next question is, this one you have to, the first one on the staff one, this one on the staff and human resource issue, you have to, it's going to be our cost, like it or not. It's a duty of care as an employer. Now, quarantine. Now the question is paid or unpaid. So how many of you paid for the quarantine of the staff? Okay. If you're paid for the quarantine of staff, just put yes. Okay. If not, just say no. One hand yes, like KKM, kau mati. Okay. Yes. Yeah, we pay for the staff. We pay for the staff. We pay for the staff. Okay. My question is, if the pandemic is going to last another 2 years, how many times you going to pay for the staff for their quarantine? Okay, do we pay for 14 days only? Yes, correct. But how long? Let's say after one round, after another round, after another round. Okay. Now, so far on our side, this is what we do lah. Okay, and I also recommend you can try. Or you pay for 14 days yearly. Okay, fine. Okay. So that the staff will be more careful lah. Okay. So on our side is like this. Okay. You can, if you get have to be quarantined due to working in our center, we will deduct from the hospitalization leave. Okay, which is 60 days, isn't it? Or 45 days, 45 days or 60 days. Okay, you just have to check. So it's happened to us is for until the hospitalization leave is over. If it's due to working with us, okay, then after that it will be unpaid leave lah. That is our stand lah. But you can have other stand as well. Don't follow us. Okay. Because you see, like some of our staff have 2 or 3 rounds of. We have gone through 4 rounds. Okay, of COVID, 4 rounds over this last year. So we have a few rounds of quarantine of staff. Now, but we also have staff who go out there who don't follow SOP. They don't listen to us. When they go out there and they kena and bring back, okay, we will not even give them 14 days. They'll be straight away unpaid because they are being irresponsible. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. Rashid is kau rugi. This one, it is a bit tough for all of us. So that is where is what's happening. So you have to decide at what level you can absorb. Okay, what level you can absorb the cost. Okay, 14 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Because if you deduct too many times, the staff also might as well change job lah. Every time I work here, I go home and no more money left. So these are things lah. So you have to change and decide for yourself and set a certain guidelines. Okay, termination of staff. Okay, I just told in the meeting. Okay, I said if it happens, staff who keeps going out and bring back virus to the place, and they don't listen and don't follow SOP, I'm sorry. 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, you out you go. Okay, I don't need you, because that means you don't care about other people. I don't care about you. Okay, lockdown of staff. Some people ask, should we lock down staff in the center when there is a COVID outbreak? I'm going to give you okay. Do you think you should lock down staff in your center? Yeah, pay halves also can. Santok, yeah. Yes, you lock down staff. Okay. 1 time each staff, max 14 days. Okay, bringing in very subjective. Yep. Takut kena staff saman. Yes, I know this is a difficulty, isn't it? So when you move forward, where do you go? Okay. Okay, okay. So I'm going to ask this staff. So actually, not from my staff. Someone asked me this question. Said, well, sir, why they lock us down in the center? Okay. If we follow the rules, we work in the people in the center kena. But I follow the rule, ma. I wear masks, I wear shields, I wear PPE. I'm okay, ma. You see, hospital staff working in the COVID center also can go home, what? With COVID also can go home, what? Every day. So why can't I go home? That's true, lah. They don't lock them down and put them sleeping in the hospital. So this is also a dilemma you have to deal with. Okay, so I think eventually we will have to let go, lah. They will still have to go home. Those with family, you cannot be so inhuman or inhumane. If it's local, yeah. The only one you can really lock down, which don't mind, will be the foreign staff. Oh, lock us down, never mind. No food provided, you stay there, don't have to travel, save money, better still. Okay. But all the local staff, we have family and all those things, we have to go home. So it's not easy. So checking staff movement, my Sejatra, do you all check it? Okay, do you all check staff movement? Yeah, this one, I leave it to you all to decide whether you want to check staff movement or not. Yeah. Okay, yeah. you can check the staff movement, okay? So especially when they bring back the virus, you have to check the movement, not just to check. Of course, it's not easy to check if they don't scan, but we know if it is from them, we will deal with them. Okay. So of course, the other thing is staff well-being. Okay, you have to look after them. You must give them better food to eat, give them enough water to drink. In some centers they buy vitamins for them also. Buy vitamin C and D for them. So okay, excuse me for a moment. I just take one short call. Okay, staff well-being. Yep. Okay. So these are the things that we have to look into. So my answer is this. I think we have to pass all these costs over to people. Okay, sorry. Yeah, true. You can't check if they don't scan. Yeah, that's true, Darren. Okay, staff well-being. So I think these are terms and conditions you have to rethink. Okay, for us, we are looking at it also. So when I have anything, I will of course put it back and share with you all. I think we all should share in a group how you want to run your business, because we're still going to move forward, and these are going to be cost. Okay, all these are cost. So most of our business, our margin are pretty thin. Okay, most of us are making about 10%, 12% only. Okay, if those who tell me they make 15-20%, I wonder what they do with what kind of things they do. I also want to learn. But yeah, it affects your margin, so you have to think about it. If you think you can absorb it, go ahead, no problem. Now, SOPs and work processes, cleanliness. Okay, how often are you going to sanitize the place? Okay, visitation SOP. This one I'm not going to repeat. Okay, delivery SOP. Okay, and another source. All these are source of infection. Handling of positive and negative residents. Okay. So how do you people ask me how? So now generally my advice to people is negative, take care of negative, positive, take care of positive. Okay. And then they ask me, do you ask this question, do you want to test everybody once person gets it? Okay. Well, one of the work process we have changed now is this. Okay, maybe I share with you. Okay, in Jasper we changed. Dr. Lim changed it. I think it's a good move, and we adopt it from the previous health minister, the one from the elected government. Okay, not the Spanish fly minister. And he says this: if someone has a symptom, okay, a symptom of COVID, immediately what you need to do is do RTK. Now, if RTK is positive, the chances are it is positive already. Okay, of course, we still do PCR for 100% confirmation because that is a requirement. So now what happened when we analyzed the 4 incidents in our place? We realized why it happens, and it spread a lot. Okay, and you think back, for those who have kena, like Michelle and everybody, I think you look back and maybe in the future you do things differently. You see, when we had the first outbreak, what we do is we all do PCR. And PCR takes about a day and a half, 32 hours, okay, to get the results. By then, the person could be spread to staff, and walking around and spread to everybody in the 32 hours. So it's a bit too late. But let's say you caught someone with symptoms, you take out the RTK, pop, 15 minutes, you get the result. So if it's positive, straight away, you isolate the whole situation, okay, and then take it as isolate the person, and you move fast, and the negative go to negative, positive go to positive. Very straightforward. You do that very fast, very easy. Now, if someone then the question is, it happens. Someone show symptom, but when the RTK was done, it was negative. What do you do? Okay, the answer is treat it as positive. Okay, treat it as positive and separate the person first, then only you do the PCR. Okay, so we don't care what symptom it is, we just as long as it falls under a bracket of COVID symptom, and if the RTK, even if it's negative, we move them, we separate them first, and then only we do the PCR. So these are the two approaches. Positive symptoms, RTK immediately. If positive, separate. Symptoms, RTK immediately, still negative, separate. That is where you change the way, and you find it much more effective and move forward easier. So all these are changes. We'll change, redesigning our centers. Okay, now what our site we're doing is every place we have every center we have what you call a isolation room. Okay, a quarantine room. So someone comes in, isolate for 14 days, then only we release to the common public. Okay, so that's what we do. So things like this will affect your cost. Would you have more single room? Maybe you have one or two more. Ventilation is another issue. Okay, staff quarters. Do you want them to stay in the center or not? How do you stop them from spreading? How now sacrificing income and higher profit? So what happened now is we have to rethink. If your center can take in 50 people at one time, maybe you want to reduce it to 40, okay, and change 40 and make it more space, more single rooms for quarantine. So there will be a bit of cost involved, but I think you have to rethink the design of our centers, quarantine rooms, more single rooms, ventilations, okay, staff quarters, okay. So these are the things operationally we have to look into. The 5 things we have to look into. So after looking at all these 5 things, let's have a discussion. Okay, looking at your center, okay, you can share your center and ask looking at what we have proposed, some of the new things that we need to do. Can we look at merging what we knew with what is new? Okay, what you know about your own business and what is new now. Okay, this is a discussion session. Okay, I will spend a little bit of time. You can ask any questions, and I think it is good to share that what we are going to do moving forward for HCOPE as a member. What do you do? How do you go about it? Definitely on our site, on the Jasper site, we will definitely have a quarantine room at each place. Okay, we will quarantine for 14 days before we release. Staff, the moment that it is declared positive, we will quarantine. Them. Okay, let them, or if we have no place to go, we let them. Let's say if the whole place is kena already, we let them work positive to positive with positive. So that's what we do also. So, but you have to change the entire thing we work. So we're also reducing our numbers of residents per center also. We want to have more area and space. So let's share. Okay, you can. I'm going to stop here of what I'm going to say. I will let you share and ask question. Ask me any question. Okay, if I can answer, I will answer. If I cannot, I will open for everyone to answer, and anyone can answer. Can just take it. Yeah. Any question? My question to you is, do you still take in new people, and how many do you take in, and how do you take in now?
Muncho, I would like to ask you. Just now you said every of your care center will have a quarantine room, which means that you separate them into different level or still at the same place, but then it's just that you put them in a corner, and then who are going to take care of them? Okay.
The staff will take care of them. We will still wear full PPE. We will find one room which is the furthest away from people.
Okay.
And we use that room, and then we designate the staff to take care.
Which means 1-to-1?
Almost, but not necessarily. We will see it.
Every time you all went in, and then you wear full PPE, and then once you come out, then you will change the PPE, and then also the others care for others.
PPE is going to kill us. Yes.
Wow. Then the PPE cost will be very, very high.
Well, I think is we have no choice. We either move forward or we don't move forward. I mean, there's another, we have three types of PPE, isn't it? The full white hazmat suit, the blue gown, and the apron, the plastic apron. So if we know their PCR test is negative, they just wear the face shield, mask, double mask, okay, gloves, okay. It's killing us. The cost is crazy. And then they just wear the plastic apron. Then that one is cheaper lah. You buy one pack, you get 50, 100 inside a pack lah. So we use that.
Okay, I understand that.
So, but which means we also reduce the number of people we take in. So we slow down also lah. But we still have to take in, okay.
Which means that you are increasing their fees, or you still remain the same fees?
I'm still thinking lah. Don't know how to write the letter lah.
That's why I'm saying, because
Okay.
like what you say, who are going to pay for the sanitizing and all those things?
Okay.
For my center, because last year we have it in a shop lot, and then actually basically we have 6 units. So currently how we run is like we use one full unit, one whole floor for the quarantine. So we actually don't mix them around. Even the staff, I don't mix them. So this is what are we practicing lah? This is what we are practicing.
Good.
Yeah.
I think that's a good practice. I think go ahead and do that. On our side, it's okay. Because since this last year, beginning of this year, actually we have increased the price. We have gone a bit up market lah. So we cover a lot of things. Instead of every time you come in at 2,005, we add 200, 300, add another one until you cry. And then you have to explain every time you add. We just tell them, look, okay, it's going to be X dollars. Let's say 4,000 or 4,005 or 6,000. Okay, like you, I didn't charge that high lah, but yeah. For example, so in terms of cost, we can cover, but we must hit certain occupancy level lah. We need to hit about 7 because of the whole thing. Before that, we have to hit about 75% occupancy to break even. Okay, I can tell you that lah. Based on about what we charge, our average is about 3,500 to 4,000. Okay, the break even is about 75%. So we reduce because the numbers also reduce. So we also have to be very mindful lah. Okay, so that's what we do. Okay, is there a question there? Saya diam-diam plan naik sikit. Plan naik sikit. Okay, boleh juga Bang Rashid. Diam-diam. Okay, diam-diam ubi berisi mah.
Munto, I would like to propose a radical suggestion lah. And this is actually what I'm actually planning to do moving forward.
I want to hear.
I am actually of the opinion that 2 weeks after the second dose of vaccination, I'm going to treat COVID like a flu lah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what correct. That's what I'm thinking as well, actually.
Because you see, when it comes to a point where it's just a very difficult road moving forward lah. In addition, well, just to also let you guys know that our center have also been increasing the prices twice since the start of the pandemic, to a point where we feel it's a sustainable amount lah. But in terms of how we're going to manage COVID, right? I think if everyone has been vaccinated, your staff and your residents, and if you were to still find all sorts of ways to try and prevent it, it's just going to slowly cannibalize your own self with time lah. Because sooner or later we will need to. The whole purpose of vaccination is to convert from a deadly disease to a mild flu.
Yeah.
And yeah, assuming that once all of them have been vaccinated, this will be a mild flu. We will start to gradually open up, of course, still with SOP, meaning to say visitors come in, still have to scan, still have to wear masks, maintain social distance for now. But if let's say there's a suspected case, I don't think we will do drastic measures. We'll probably just treat it as a flu.
Yeah, I think that will be how we're going to look at it as well. Yeah, because our site will, I think most of our members will be by end of this month will be getting their second doses already. I think thank God we all get the second dose lah. Those not our members, I don't know lah. I know, but we cannot solve all the problems, but we still have to. At least we have almost 200 members lah. So to get vaccinated, yeah. So yeah, I think good suggestion. I think once we will think how we're going to go about it as well, make it like a common flu. In fact, we are changing one of guidelines is visitation. Once we get the 2 doses of jab for all of us, we will open for visitors already, and the visitors must show that they have a double dose, so they can come lah. So that is what we are going to do. So okay. Next, any other question? Open for question, please. Feel free.
Good evening. Hi, Munto. Good evening. This is Dr. Vijayan from Ipoh.
Hi, Vijayan. Hi, how are you?
Oh, good, sir. How are you? Okay. Just now, someone was telling, you're going to treat the patient as a flu. I don't understand how you're going to treat the patient as a flu.
Okay. No, okay.
Explain,
That's Dr. Go lah. Dr. Go. Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Go.
Dr. Go has a history from all the way back to Ipoh. Okay.
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 Dr. Go is from Taiping, is it?
No. He's from Ipoh. He's from Ipoh.
Okay.
Well, his family side from Ipoh lah. I don't think he's from Ipoh lah.
Yeah, my mom's side. Munto, maybe I can just very briefly explain.
Yes, please do explain. Yes, I know what you mean.
So,
yeah.
the rationale about treating it as normal flu is because that's actually the whole purpose of vaccination lah, basically. Because vaccination, once your body has built sufficient immunity against the virus, right, it basically makes the chances of getting severe COVID very, very low. So just to put into context, flu for elderly is also quite deadly. Before COVID, before COVID came about, whenever a flu season comes about, usually in the center you will have at least 1 to 2 mortalities. And it's usually those who are at the terminal phases. Maybe they have end-stage Parkinson's disease, or maybe they have cancer or whatever lah. And flu is not, to normal people, is maybe you get a bit of high fever for a few days, cough and cold. But for the elderly, some of them will pass away. But the thing about COVID is that if you notice for the duration of 10 days, usually the severe ones comes at the final days, day 8, day 9, day 10. And this is because the lungs, the heart starts to react in a way which is abnormal. To put it very simply, it's not really due to the virus itself, but it's due to your body reacting to the virus.
Reacting to virus.
Yeah. So with that being said, once the vaccine is there, right? So basically, it makes this end severe stage quite irrelevant. So this will actually make coronavirus like a normal flu. In fact, coronavirus is not something new. It has been all this while around. It's just that this is a very new strain. And before this new strain, COVID-19 in particular, came about, coronavirus was in our society like a normal cold. So basically, what this means is that once everyone has been vaccinated and the chances of getting severe COVID is very, very low, right? Then it will come a point of time where the numbers doesn't really matter. Even if you get COVID in your center, there shouldn't be any big, testing, hoo-ha, because it's just going to be something which passes on. And unfortunately, those that succumb to the virus, it's just how nature is taking its path, basically. So it will come to a point in time where there's that much you can do. We can't be fighting this forever. And yeah, that's how I believe it will slowly move towards treating it like a flu.
Just treat the patient as a normal flu patient. Just treat like antihistaminic. If fever, just give a paracetamol.
Not the kind of okay. When Dr. Go said that it's normal flu, that means it's not like medically giving all the prescription, honestly. But what he means is, in our mind, this is part of life. Okay, just like a flu. Because which is true. Flu, the simple flu kills millions every year, the whole world, because in the winter people die of the common flu. Like I said, so what he says is that everyone, once we have a second dose, generally we are more able to fight even when we are infected, and we be like normal flu. the way it looks like it'll be part of the flu strains around us. I mean, the other strain of flus are still around, okay? Just that this one COVID takes a center stage because he's a bit of a diva, you know. So that is where it comes. So it's not just about the treatment itself, it's the way we look at things. Because when we move forward, we look at things, it's like, okay, now we have double dose already, we still follow SOP. We're still going to do keep our place clean. We still scan the MySejahtera. We still wear our mask. We still wear our PPE. But we don't react like crazy. Like, one person got COVID. Like now, you start calling PKM, PKD said, Satu Minggu, they don't call back. You call KKM, they said, don't come and disturb me. You call the hospital, jangan mari. You call ambulance, kita tak mau mari. Okay? So that is what...
I mean, you don't get panic, you know, you treat the patient as a flu, so don't get panic and all that. No?
Okay, let me tell you this, okay? Over the last 4 weeks, 8 centers call me, okay? And they ask me, what do you do? I said, don't panic. Don't even bother about calling KKM. You want to tell them, you tell them. You don't want to tell them, never mind. Okay, this is Klang Valley, because you call them, they won't react. You call ambulance, they won't come. So I think most important thing is stay calm. Okay, you just call our own people to do you call the labs, whoever, to do the test for you. Confirm, you separate it first. Then you monitor every 2 hours the vital signs. Now, if there's no major turn around, then you just keep calm, give them good food, give them whatever that's needed, listen to the doctor says, stay calm, okay? Now, but when they change, okay, the SPO start dropping, then you quickly call the ambulance, we'll find a way, we send them to hospital, okay? Die also must go to Kau Mati must go to KKM.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is where we change the way we work. So it becomes calmer, we become less fearful. Because or else we overreact. I can tell you this COVID is going to be around for another year or 2, and it's going to change from Delta, Alpha, Gamma, Beta, Theta.
Beta, all kind of.
So it's going to. So what Dr. Goh is saying is that make sure that we do. Then we just take it. Now the question is, what about the new people coming in that have not been vaccinated? How? So eventually, the government is going to allow clinics to charge for vaccination. So when anyone's come in, this will be part of the things that you have to put in the SOP, must be vaccinated.
Before coming in.
I mean, subject to the medical condition.
Yeah, before we admit the patient into our home, that they actually vaccinated both vaccine, 2 doses also completed.
Not only patient, but also staff. If you're vaccinated, okay, you can come in. If not, you're going to get your vaccine first, please. So there are cases like this. I mean, of course, the other one is Alex from our HCOP PJ side. He said his place was infected. It seems quite bad and all those things. I said, don't panic, just follow. I mean, they have a nurse who is the matron of Asun, ex-matron for Asunta. I said, just follow her, and things will be okay. And then in the group, we just advise him what to do. So I think we can
follow the SOP.
Just follow the SOP.
Just follow the SOP. Exactly. And then, Mr. Muthu, just now you're telling some relative, say, don't send the patient to the hospital and all that. I have experienced a patient died in a home, and then we had to report the police. Police come, and then they said, "Oh, this one now COVID season, this one must send to hospital to do postmortem to ascertain whether patient got COVID or not." So they still had to go to call the police, and they have to send the patient to the mortuary. And then if positive, the KKM will take over the whole process and all that.
So I think that one is, you can't run away. Now, I mean, Darren just said the second dose doesn't guarantee that we will not be infected. That's true. I mean, very often, if you're young and strong, when we are infected by flu, you don't feel a thing, but we are still carrier of other normal flu and pass it on to other people, isn't it? So I think after second dose, we still follow SOP.
The reason I said that is because for now, for my case, even those with 2 doses, I may not allow visitation yet, because the 2 doses, despite they getting 2 doses, they may still be infected and may still infect others.
Exactly.
Because the vaccine is to assist our body to build immunity. Just because you receive the vaccine doesn't mean your body has the immunity or has built the immunity.
You won't, doesn't mean that you won't contact COVID.
Yeah, so it depends on individual bodies. And like Dr. Goss said, I totally agree with him. One day coronavirus, COVID-19 will be like a common virus or flu virus. Even current flu virus before COVID-19, people were taking annual booster shots or vaccine shots. Even
influenza vaccine.
Yes, people are doing that. So one day, maybe the high-risk people may be taking annual booster or vaccine shots. Those healthy or the herd immunity. Once the herd immunity has been achieved, maybe then it will be treated like a common flu or a common virus. So Dr. Gore is totally correct on that part. I totally agree because that was my viewpoint all along, but he put it in words.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Darren. Okay, thanks, Vijay. Okay, I think that is very true. This is how we want to look at it also, and we have to move forward. So as a business, there will be, of course, the cost and everything else. So you all have to figure it out. Of course, for those who need to discuss some more, you can always call me privately. And but that is something we want to move forward. But when is the Ong Day come? What is Ong Day? I don't know what Mr. Tang Yap said. But when is Ong Day? I don't think it will be a notifiable disease if the
not so early Ong come.
No.
Take some time. Delton said 1 or 2 years.
Well, like let's say put it this way, like this one is almost as big as the Spanish flu. Okay, the Spanish flu lasted 5 years. So this one, but this time we have a much more faster reaction. People ask me what do I think? What do you think I should do? Well, I think I'm going to finish my AZ jab. Then I'm going to go for my Sinovac, and I'm going to go for my Pfizer also lah. Just in case you don't know which strain is good for which strain. Okay, so those all these kind of extra vaccinations coming along. But eventually, it will be vaccination will be available from the clinics, so the doctors can get some and jab it for the residents and those who don't have it so for booster shots or whatever.
Yeah, but then at the moment the government haven't encouraged for booster dose yet, isn't it? Only first dose, second dose. I think the time will come. I think they will encourage.
Actually, now in the US, what they're doing is they are combining the seasonal flu shots together with the COVID booster, and they're planning for that in the near future. So in terms of when that one day will come, it will most likely be the Prime Minister have given October as the date where we achieve sort of like a statistical herd immunity for those who are able to get vaccinated. So hopefully October will be the day. I haven't been playing my exercising in my basketball for at least 2 years already. I feel very sad. So I hope that this day also will come soon. I'm also looking forward to it. But moving forward, it seems that the global trends are looking at it this way. Because when you actually merge this COVID vaccine as part of your yearly seasonal flu shots, meaning to say that as years come by, this will be something like a flu, and they will give the flu shot, these shots based on the strains which are predominant within society at that current year. So this looks like what is moving towards. Of course, there is also a very, very small chance where mutation will happen and things like that. But of course, let's be positive today and hopefully that doesn't come.
Doesn't come, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Thanks for all those feedback, and I think that is very important. I think as a team, we still have to move forward. Okay, so when we move forward, those are the 5 things you have to consider. Okay, and the main thing is, of course, is whether ourselves are comfortable between empathy and business, we can move forward or not. So that is your decision, and each one of us have a different view of. We have one view of aged care, and that is we care for elderly and we want to do our best. Okay, but each one of us has a different view of how it should be done. So I'm not going to say this is the best way or that is the best way. Okay, now of course, I'm not going to insist that you must follow, but there are a few things I must insist. Vaccination must be done now. Okay, follow SOP, please. Okay, so these are the 2 things, and you still need to grow the business, but cautiously. So whether you want to renovate your place and spend a little bit and change it, okay, I think that one has to be done. I think there is a good governance and a good conscience that we have quarantine room now, and maybe in the future it's not just because of COVID, it could be for other conditions as well that can be contagious. So there are so many other things that can cause problems to a aged care center. So maintain all those things and move forward. Yeah. Thanks for all the sharing. Anyone one last sharing? Okay. Anyone that last question or anything before we move forward? I end this tonight. I think we have enough for you to think about, and I want to encourage you all to move the business.
One last question, Mr. Monto. Increasing the fee, how much? Say, for example, we are charging 2,000 per month, for example. So how much, if you want to increase, how much should we increase?
Okay, this one.
No, not drastic, but slowly. So we don't want to tax our what do you call our customer.
Okay, this one you ask your accountant. This one they have to draw. And then this is you ask the accountant. The accountant will give you a very conservative answer, probably ask you to increase a lot. Then you have to ask your heart how much you can give and how much you can take.
We also now it's a very bad situation. People losing job and all that.
Yeah.
Quite.
Well, okay. There are two ways, lah. Okay, at 2,000 in Ipoh, I know you are all doing okay. Now the cost has probably cut into your profit by about 15%. Okay, it's gone up. Okay, so now the question is, okay, there are only two ways. If you keep the cost, keep the price, and increase the numbers of your break-even level is higher. Okay, so you may want to have a higher break-even, more people, and just find a happy level that you feel comfortable. Because I think in all conscience, I feel bad increasing the price and charging all those things out. I really feel bad.
Exactly.
But in the long run, we knew we can sustain up to certain level only. Okay, we knew we can sustain. So we know our level. Mine is 75% of occupancy I can sustain. So what is your level? So I think that is where we're not greedy that we want to be super rich doing what we are doing. I mean, we make a good living, yes. But how do we balance? Maybe you want to increase by 100 to 200. Okay, basically there are two models.
Exactly.
Okay?
I think that's I think reasonable. Yeah.
Okay, but there are two models. Okay, there are two models of pricing. One is called step up. Step up means you charge a base and everything to anyone who use it, then you charge them lah. Those who don't use you don't charge. Okay. Then the other model is called cross subsidy model. In other words, you charge a certain fee. Those who use it, you don't charge more. So those who don't use it, the healthier one subsidize the not so healthy one. But this one you don't tell the client, they are not happy one. But this is the model. So that is which model you want to work on. So step up or cross subsidy.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Or maybe can I suggest something?
Yes, Frank.
Or maybe you can charge. Let's say your new price is 2,002. Then the new clients you charge 2,002. Then the old client you don't touch them.
That also okay.
Only new admissions lah.
Yeah.
Good idea.
That also work. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay. So I think we're going to end tonight's session. And since our president is here, Darren, would you like to have a closing words for everyone, my friend?
The only closing word, if I were to say, is be safe, stay safe.
Stay safe.
Continue following the SOP.
SOP.
Yeah. My last patient, my center was infected about 2 months back. Everybody knows, 16 June.
Yeah.
I lost 3 patients, and my last patient came back today. Finally, after 1.5 months. So it's been a torturing time. The family still paid for that 1.5 months she was missing. This is to answer the earlier questions someone asked. Okay, they still paid. I didn't tell them don't pay. They never asked me whether should pay or not. They paid, so I just just accepted it. They were okay. As for your question just now, be safe. We will take time to get that herd immunity. So until then, just do your best to protect your staff, advise your staff, keep your center safe.
Yeah.
I've gone through it. It's hurtful, very, very hurtful.
Stressful.
Stressful and hurtful.
Yeah. Okay. With that, thank you very much, Darren. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for your time and thank you for your support.
Thank you, President. Thank you, Secretary. Thank you.
Okay.
See you next time.
Okay. Good night and
bye.
Take care.
Good night. Have a pleasant day.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks, Munto, for the section.
Thank you. Hey, you take care.
Hey, everybody lah.
Okay, Michelle, take care. Okay.